Nickeil, what came alive for you guys in that third quarter?
Energy, sense of urgency, playing with pace, stepping up to knowing that we can play better and understanding the moment, the difference between going home 2-2 and going home 3-1.
Did you guys get a sense that you were able to kind of wear down the Warriors in that third quarter?
Yeah, but to keep call it a spade, Anthony Edwards did what Anthony Edwards does and provided a great spark that got us going, and then everyone collectively kept it going from there.
When Ant is on a roll like he is, what's it like as his teammate when you're sitting there watching him get down like he was?
I mean, as a basketball fan, it's fun. And then as a competitor, it's fun because he's on your team. And then he's providing a spark. He's playing with energy. He's making tough shots. On the road, you can hear the pain from the crowd when you know he's making shots like that. And he gets on a heater and you know he starts to do his thing and be a showman that he is. And so it's definitely fun to be a part of, to watch, you know, to have those stories later down the year.
Did you notice how much they were beating you on the glass in the first half? You were minus 10. Second chance points were way up.
I didn't know that initially. The one thing I just felt, though, was the intensity wasn't where it needed to be from our part. And we were saying that we got to limit them to one shot and so forth. So I think it was subconscious, but it wasn't really at the forefront of my mind.
Nickeil, Coach was saying he was one of the most vocal ones at halftime. So what was the halftime locker like? What was the message? What was the message he was trying to drive?
Everyone was talking, but Ant just was really big on keying in on some points that he felt throughout the game that he was seeing, that areas of improvement. Rudy was talking as well and trying to be our anchor defensively, and then Ant was leading by example in that third quarter to start as well.
Nickeil, now you go home with a chance to close it out. Like, how do you kind of replicate the third quarter and just make sure that you take care of business?
Man, honestly, just understand the moment. That's the main thing. Being present is going to be very key. You can't live in the past, can't jump too far ahead. You got to be present and understand that these are situations that are pivotal. You know, you have a chance to close out on your home court as opposed to having to go elsewhere and try to win and then do it again and come back on the road and travel. As much as advantage as you can in these playoffs and you can gain, you want to keep that and play with that and use that to your advantage. So I think for us, it's just about defending home court, being better than that, and growing. It's far from over. This one's going to be harder than the first three, and it's just about having that focus to do what we need to do to get it done.
And Julius have been pillars of production for you guys so far, even more so in the postseason. What do you look for from each of them as a teammate? Like, what type of tone do they set individually?
It's the playoffs, you know, so everyone wants to be their best. And for those two, they've been gearing up, and I've kind of seen it when we went on that run towards the end of the season. I could kind of see them gearing up in that mode, that kind of schedule switch and small things that they were doing. This afternoon, I seen that look in Julius's eye when we were all in the locker room. So small things like that. I think they've been preparing for this moment to steamroll, and they're aware that it's here. They're present of what's going on and what they need to do. Like I mentioned earlier, and was vocal in the locker room, and like he was aware of what was required of him in his role, and Julius is too.
Nickeil, this series you guys have played through the third quarter, the fourth quarter the other night. Just how do you try to put that together? Is it something that they're doing defensively that's maybe preventing you guys from really putting it all together, or how do you just navigate this series as a team in that sense?
You gotta weather every storm. You gotta try to hit first, and then when you got hit, you gotta hit harder and harder and keep going. Wear them in. Use our depth to our advantage. Rebound. Be physical. Whatever the game requires. It's going to be won in the small details. Finch had mentioned, I think it was after game one, that there was like no more flawed, for instance, teams, or like the deeper you go in the playoffs, the harder it is going to be to advance. And 4 is going to feel like 8. And so it's just about the small things like coming in the locker room. Guys, we're acting like we won this series. We got to be better. we're not what we should be, and then going out and doing it, paying attention, getting our rest. It's the cumulative things, you know. You don't want to come in here and say, let's just get a win. What do those things look like? What does it take to get a win? Boxing out, making sure we held them to one possession. In the third quarter, we did that. In the third quarter, we did that. Making shots, making the right plays. We were able to send a read by doing that. Moving the ball, getting downhill, finding Rudy in paint. Rudy was big on the glass. I told him that. I remember just watching him get missed a few times. He stuck with it. He didn't care. He didn't get in his feelings. And it helped us.
Julius and they had to switch up their schedules a little bit down the stretch of the season?
Yeah, just like routine, just working out, and just different slot times, stuff like that.
With you just mentioned Rudy there, he seemed like a big part of that third quarter. Like he came out and really locked in and was impactful defensively. It's been a weird sort of series in postseason for him, right? Where he's playing against a smaller team. How have you seen him sort of like stay engaged, even though the role is a little bit different?
He's embracing it, and that's the main thing, you know. Coming into the postseason, we were all looking in the mirror saying, I have to embrace that I might not be used this series, or it's going to be different, or it might not be for me. But our cumulative goal as a team, trying to win a championship, we understand that what he's doing is playing the role for us to win a championship. So you can't look at it like, oh, I'm not the finals MVP. There's only one of those things to go around. I'm not the conference MVP. There's only one of those things to go around. So it's about like, how do I contribute to winning something, to be a part of something special? And I think Rudy is at the forefront of always being mindful of it. You know, he's a competitor, so he's going to want to play or he's going to get frustrated. But, I mean, I want him to because that means he cares. I can't knock him for caring or wanting to be the best version of himself. And so I just really want to tip my hat to him because it's not easy to do what he does, you know, especially in a guards league right now. It's not easy to be a 7 foot big and have to be pushed around by like 3 little guys, and yeah, it is what it is.
Has this one been interesting in that you know their path to victory, you know what they're trying to do, like to play with pace and what they have to do to try to succeed, and for you guys it just seems like it comes down to matching their intensity. Like what is the challenge of having to bring that every night, of knowing that they're going to play as hard as they can in these specific areas and it's just on you guys to match it?
I think the good thing about that is it's controllable. That's a controllable thing. We can control it. And effort should be the forefront of the playoffs. If you're not going to play hard, then you probably shouldn't have made it. And chances are you didn't make it because you don't play hard. So I think just all of those things kind of just come down to how much do you want it and how bad do you want it, how bad do you want to be here, because it's going to be minute details. And I think the team that wants it most is you can tell the change in the game when they were out rebounding us and when we decided to hold them to one shot each possession. And you can kind of see those things turn. So it's just making sure that we're taking care of those small things and carrying it out throughout the season.
These are both the second round series this last season. This is the second round series. How is maybe series, even though they're the same part of the postseason, been different? And in terms of feel and the way you've navigated each of them?
You really gotta just drown out everything and then lock into like this simulation. Like we're in this focus of Golden State, Minnesota. Nothing else matters. Cross that bridge when you get there. You know, being present, being in the moment, making sure that we're not playing for game 5, 3 minutes left in game 4. You know? And I tip your hat to the guys that came in and played hard and really made us play hard, you know, took our foot off a little bit, but stuff like small things like that carry over because who knows if they had 30 more seconds, you know?